Good morning, everybody, and welcome on behalf of the Jefferson Club Board of Trustees to the inaugural Jefferson Club Golden Quill Alumni Excellence Award ceremony. It is a Chamber of Commerce day, and we are so glad for it. Good Lord. My name is John Anderson, and I have the privilege of serving as the chairman of the board. We are here this morning to recognize 5 amazing members of our Mizzou family: Ann Covington, Andy Bryant, Al McQuinn, Bill Thompson, and James White. Quick recognition of some other folks who are not being honored, but we are honored that they are here. A number of our campus leading deans, both current and former. We thank you for your attendance, as well as all my talented and terrific colleagues on the board as well, past and present as well. Naomi, who is certainly a part of this as a past chairman. We are glad that you are here today as well. As we begin, I want to share just a brief history of the building that we are in, this magnificent building, Jesse Hall, and the Notable Alumni Wall. As most of you know, fire destroyed the original academic hall in 1892. I was not here for that, but Ron and Russ, Dewey, still tell me that is the worst blaze they have ever seen. Calluses from carrying buckets of water, all in vain. What remains are the 6 historic columns that anchor Francis Quadrangle. This building, the new academic hall, was then completed 3 years later. Now we fast forward 115 years. That's why it's a brief history. But what that does is that skips over a lot of times I had to pay tuition payments in here, a lot of hours standing in line trying to get my transcript. There was a George Thorogood concert that I remember, and many of our graduations. Especially if you were a winter person, they had to put you inside if you were a semester off. At that time, the university launched its first $1 billion fundraising campaign for all we call Mizzou. At that time, the Jefferson Board of Trustees was tasked with developing a way to recognize not only the university's best and brightest in leadership donors, but also our most outstanding and impactful alumni. The Jesse Hall Vestibule, located inside the south entrance here, where the Notable Alumni Wall is located, was student designed and dedicated then in the fall of 2005. The following spring, the Notable Alumni Wall itself was unveiled for the first time with a list of 33 outstanding alumni, including Jim Lair, this evening's keynote speaker at our dinner. Kellen Winslow is on that wall, Cheryl Crow, and many other alumni who have excelled in their work and community and brought favor here on the University of Missouri. A note about Jim Lair, our keynote speaker. We are having some travel issues. So as I look at Al and Ann and James, you are Plan B. Okay? So if you've got really good stuff and you want to say it here, great. If you feel like you want to hedge your bet and save it for tonight at 7:15, that's great. The good news is we plan to have that to you by at least between the salad and the dinner course. You will have a lot of warm-up time, okay? But as I understand, by the end of this ceremony, we'll know if Jim's in the air or not. So, but just in case, you got a little time between now and going back. Since then, this wall has been updated only on a single occasion. So 18 months ago, the current Jefferson Board of Trustees set out to develop a more permanent plan to honor our outstanding alumni on an annual basis. The plan, the process, that culminates today. It is a huge day for the board. It is a big day for our honorees. It's a big day for the University of Missouri. And given the importance of this building and the accomplishments of Ann and Andy and James and Bill and Al, there is no place else on this campus that more perfectly is a more perfect spot and better suited to place your names forever in the history of Mizzou. We could possibly chisel your name on the columns, but that request was sternly denied. But I'll tell you this, I got a black Sharpie, and after the dinner, it's going to be dark, and you never know. We can slide out here. Nominees for this award can be brought forward by anyone associated with the university, alumni, faculty, staff, students. However, only those who have demonstrated excellence in their chosen field and reflect our core values as a university of respect, responsibility, discovery, and excellence will be recognized with this honor. The 5 remarkable people being honored today were selected by the Jefferson Club Board of Trustees, and we take this awesome responsibility not only serious, but we do it with great pride. To our honorees, we are elated to recognize you today as we add your names to the Jesse Hall Notable Alumni Wall and present you with the Jefferson Club Golden Quill Alumni Excellence Award. Your significant achievements not only inspire all of us, more importantly, it will serve to inspire future generations as they pass through this building and read your names and your accomplishments. The physical award depicted here is uniquely meaningful and uniquely Mizzou. In 2001, the Jefferson Club commissioned a bronze statue of Thomas Jefferson, which is located on the quad, to commemorate this day and this honor for you. Everybody has seen the statue. We will present you with a replica of the quill that is seen in Thomas Jefferson's hand. The original sculptor, George Lundeen, is in the process of casting these beautiful bronze quills. So the key line in there is "in the process." Unfortunately, this has taken a little longer than anticipated. They will be ready in a few weeks, but they will be worthwhile, and they will sit lovely in your home or your office, wherever you choose to display them. So today, we hope you would accept a small token of our recognition on behalf of your very large contributions to Mizzou's legacy. To begin the presentation, I'm like the preamble. Our 5 esteemed alumni, I am pleased to announce this morning, Trustee Tracy Mershon and Jefferson Club Vice Chair Russ Smith, together with Sandra Mellinger. Where's Sandra? In the back, lovely. They have worked tirelessly with the subcommittee to reboot and refresh the process of the Notable Alumni Wall and develop a new tradition here that will take place annually in conjunction with the Jefferson Club annual dinner. We like to think it will be as big an event in the spring every year as the dinner itself. So please join me now in welcoming Russ and Tracy, who will introduce our 2017 nominees.
Good morning, and thank you for coming today. What a hard act to follow. This wasn't very fair, and when he started to pitch my script over the side, I got, panic. And would you please join me here? Again, welcome. I hope this is an annual event for us. We certainly have many, many alumni to recognize for their outstanding achievements. This morning, we will recognize each of our 5 honorees by sharing a bit about their remarkable accomplishments. We will then invite them to join us up here for brief remarks. And first, we are so pleased to recognize alumna Ann Covington. The Honorable Ann Covington launched a legal career at Mizzou that ascended to the highest court in the state of Missouri. She earned a Juris Doctor degree from the University of Missouri School of Law in 1977, and she served as the first woman appointed to the Missouri Court of Appeals, the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court of Missouri, and the first woman to serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Missouri. Ann served as a justice on the state's highest court for 12 years from 1989 to 2001. She was the Chief Justice from 1993 to 1995. After retiring from the Supreme Court, she became a partner in the law firm of Bryant in St. Louis. From 2012 to 2015, Ann served on the University of Missouri System Board of Curators. As Judge Patricia Breckenridge of the Missouri Court of Appeals Western Division has said, Ann is universally respected for her intellect and legal abilities. She has performed the legal responsibilities of her judicial position with distinction. She constantly worked to improve the administration of the justice and undertook causes when she was convinced of their merits, even though the causes were not always popular. Ann has been recognized with many awards, including the Greater Missouri Woman of the Year, and the Outstanding Woman of the Missouri Award. Both of these were presented by the Missouri Women's Council. Here at Mizzou, we have honored her with numerous distinctions, including the Mizzou Alumni Association Faculty Alumni Award, the School of Law Citation of Merit, and the Griffiths Leadership Society of Women Spirit of Martha Award. We are delighted today to honor Anne once again with a wonderful award of achievement. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Anne Covington.
Thank you so much for this honor. I thank the Board of Trustees. It's an unimaginable honor, really, for me because of my love for this university. And I am honored also to stand alongside the other people who are being recognized this morning. I'm here in significant part because of the shoulders upon which I have been carried, born into the shoulders of my parents, and beyond that, so many other loving mentors. There's something else into which we are all born, I think, and that is institutions. When we're born, we don't know that. But we are born into a collection of institutions, and we're very privileged to be so born. Institutions are something that were here before we were and will be here after we pass away. We accept, as part of these institutions, the gifts of our forebears, and we hope to preserve and improve and then transmit to those who follow us the gifts of these institutions. In my own case, among the 3 or 4 most significant institutions in my life are this University of Missouri and the judiciary, of course, but it's the University of Missouri. And my heart is here, by the way, even though I made a terrible mistake and did not go to undergraduate school here. But it's the University of Missouri to which my passion is directed and for which I am so grateful. The shoulders of the university I have stood on, as well as those people who first brought me into this world. 100 years ago, there were people on whose shoulders I've been privileged to stand. 40 years ago when I was in law school, and continuing to this date. Now, there are shoulders in this institution on which I continue to stand. The university has opened many doors for me. Oftentimes, I didn't even know there was a door. And the university has been a friend to me in some tough times throughout my life. So I have served the judicial branch only because the university has served me. In visiting with students here, which I continue to be privileged to do and love to do, I share this message with them. This is a great university. It's been here a long time. Yes, we've had some tough times, and we'll probably have some more. It's going to be here. Remember the shoulders. Be thankful for them, I tell them. Make your own shoulders so broad that you'll carry this wonderful institution of the University of Missouri forward with pride. And again, I say thank you so much because I'm so proud to be a graduate of this university. Thank you.
Congratulations, Anne. also wanted to mention that her daughter and her daughter's husband are here. She's the one taking pictures out there. Stephanie, was it Stephanie? It's just, everyone is so honored to be a part of this program who's been named a recipient, and they've all brought family members, which I'll talk about. At this time, though, I'd like to acknowledge our second honoree, Andy Bryant. Andy earned the Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in economics from Mizzou in 1972. He is chairman of the board and director of the Intel Corporation, a position he has held since 2012. Bryant worked in finance in the automotive industry at Ford and Chrysler before joining Intel in 1981. Since then, the corporation has become the global leader in the production of semiconductors. And he has held a variety of executive roles at Intel, including vice president and director of finance, chief financial officer, senior vice president, chief financial and enterprise services officer, and chief administrative officer. He additionally has served on corporate boards of McKesson Corporation, Columbia Sportswear, and Cryptic. Andy has earned accolades across multiple industries for his forthright and incisive leadership style. Columbia Sportswear CEO Tom Boyle once said of him, "He just does a terrific job of distilling all the disparate comments and saying, okay, here's the singular question." He's a Midwestern guy who's basically sort of a Harry Truman, plain spoken. Andy's successful career and his engagement in philanthropy show that he has made the most of his Missouri roots and his Missouri education. He was born in Mountain Grove, Missouri, and raised in Independence. His wife, Nancy, is also a Mizzou alumna, class of 1973. The Bryants are longtime residents of Portland, Oregon. Unfortunately, Andy is traveling for work and is unable to join us, but we're really pleased to honor him today, and let's all applaud for Andy. And he will hear about this later, we think that he'll be sorry he wasn't able to be here. I would say that it's just heartwarming to visit by phone with the recipients of this award. Comments like stunned, shocked, honored, humbled, proud. James White said, "Can I bring my mom and dad and my sister?" And I said, "Sure, bring them." Mizzou gave me the lift I needed, said our next honoree, Alvin Al McQuinn, when we visited in Naples a couple weeks ago. Al graduated from Mizzou in 1954 with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. He's the former board chairman and chief executive officer of Ag Chem Equipment Company. Al founded the company in 1963 and became a multi-million-dollar international corporation. Al holds several patents for inventions that revolutionized the management of soil conditions. Ernst & Young once named him an Entrepreneur of the Year, and in 2000, Farm Chemicals magazine named Al to its list of top 10 influencers that shaped the 20th century agriculture business. While Al has succeeded in business, he has also served his country and his alma mater faithfully. He served as an officer and a pilot in the United States Army and Army Reserve, and he was honorably discharged with the rank of captain in 1964. More recently, Al has given back to Mizzou in many ways. He co-chaired the Kaffner Committee for all we call Mizzou Campaign. My wife told me to do that. For all we call. And he was the first Kaffner executive in residence. Now, who out here knows what Kaffner means? What does CAFNR stand for? Ron, what does it mean? Do you know? Yes. Yeah, what's CAFNR stand for? Oh, wait, let's let Al say. Al. Okay, good. I didn't know for sure if everyone knew that. Al received the CAFNR Citation of Merit in 1993, was named CAFNR Alumnus of the Year in 2001, was honored with the Mizzou Alumni Association Faculty Alumni Award in 2002, and received the CAFNR Distinguished Service Award in 2008. CAFNR Dean Tom Payne says, Al has received numerous awards, but the awards that mean the most to him are from his revered alma mater. He truly believes this university shaped his dreams and provided him with the knowledge to achieve them. Others give for many reasons, but Al McQuinn gives because his heart guides him. We're honored that Al has followed his heart home to Mizzou this morning, and he brought family too. He brought his wife, Mary Agnes, who we were able to have lunch with a couple weeks ago, and his two daughters and their husbands. And we're proud to have all of you here, and we're so proud to have Al McQuinn recognized on our Wall of Honor. Al, would you like to come up and make a comment?
Okay. Mayo Clinic is going to take care of this in about 3 weeks. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but I was told I had 2 minutes, so I was very brief in what I thought I should pull together. But on the other hand, I'm not normally known as short of things to say and opinions. And so today, I think it's already been represented as to my deep feelings of love, concern, and commitment, dedication, appreciation, adjectives that could flow on much more for this university and for what it meant. You know, I look back on my life and I think about the stepping stones that were so critical and so important. Any one misstepped would have maybe detoured me and never have allowed me to attain and accomplish the things that fortunately have happened to me. And those things included my family, very much so. It included my university, even my basic education, I guess, in Independence, Missouri. I grew up in Independence, too. And all of these things came together. The University of Missouri not only gave me an education, but they provided ROTC. And without my military training and without my military service for 4 years, they taught me to fly. And I used airplanes in building my business, which was expansive all over the United States and all over the world, ultimately. And so airplanes were important. And I just remember back, I thought, you know, if it hadn't been for that, I couldn't have jumped in that airplane and 3 hours later been in the panhandle of Texas taking care of a couple sales that were very critical to that company at that particular time. So, University of Missouri will always stand among the most appreciated, the most important venture that I ever experienced. And by the way, I was the first in my family to go to a university and complete it. Now, my brother Morris followed as well, and he was on the front of Sports Illustrated, and he was a track major, a track specialist, and he did well. So anyway, it is a great pleasure to meet new people, and certainly Russ and John and Tracy. And I met Russ and John a bit more prominent, isn't he? And anyway, yes, I have been fortunate to receive other recognitions of substance, and for the very leading thing, maybe, changing agriculture in the 20th century. But nothing precedes the great appreciation that I will always hold for this university as long as I have breath. And so I have some more time, I think, to fulfill some of my vision for what I can do, not only here, but I should say a bit about our philanthropy in our family, and that is that it is an important piece of what we do. We don't say too much about where and that sort of thing, but we do share with other than our university. And our university is a high priority and will remain that way, the University of Missouri, when I say our university. But anyway, I'm honored and blessed and grateful for everyone who has helped me along the way to achieve the things that I've been able to achieve. And I have hundreds of friends in the industry yet that I try to spend some time with and maintain a feeling of goodwill and appreciation for me. Thank you so much.
Turn this way.
Okay, all right. That thing will fall over.
I got it.
We're going to give you that.
Thank you.
I'll hold that. Make
Thank
sure
you,
get
gentlemen.
down there.
And we'll help you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
When Al said that one of his accomplishments was to potentially change agriculture in the 20th century, John and I looked at each other and said, "Oh, is that all?" Congratulations and thank you for everything you've done. Our next honoree is Bill Thompson. Bill is the retired Chief Executive Officer of PIMCO, one of the world's largest investment management firms. Bill was born and raised in St. Louis, attended Afton High School, and graduated from Mizzou in 1968 with the Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering. He was an active student leader and proceeded to serve as the youngest member of the University of Missouri Board of Curators. In 2005, Bill and his wife Nancy made a transformational gift to Mizzou to establish the Thompson Center for Autism. Many of us are familiar with it. I think I heard yesterday it is one of the top 3 autism institutes in the country. This comprehensive center has developed a national reputation for excellence in clinical service, research, and teaching across the disability spectrum. In 2016, they funded the Thompson Laboratory for Regenerative Orthopedics at the MU Orthopedic Institute. Bill recently retired from the board of Pacific Life and still serves on the board of Citigroup. He has received numerous awards and honors for his leadership and service, both here in Missouri and in California. He holds honorary doctorates from Mizzou and Chapman University. He served as the chairman of the MU Treasurer's Investment Advisory Committee. He holds the Mizzou Alumni Association Faculty Alumni Award and the Distinguished Service Award. And he served as co-chair of the $1 billion National Capital Campaign for all we call Mizzou. Bill has always tried to balance his pursuit of professional career with his commitment to family, friends, and the community. The Thompson live in Irvine, California. He is most proud of his wife and high school sweetheart, Nancy, their 3 adult children and their spouses, and his 6 beloved grandchildren. Bill was in Columbia 2 weeks ago for a Thompson Autism Institute event, and unfortunately, he's in a board meeting in New York this weekend, and he could not be with us. But he was very honored and pleased to accept this recognition and looks forward to his next visit here to the campus so that he can see the wall. Please help me in recognizing Bill Thompson.
Our 5th honoree is James White. I mentioned that his family's here, and I know they're so proud. I talked to him earlier. James earned his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Mizzou in 1983. His distinguished career of more than 3 decades in consumer products, retail, and restaurant industries has included senior executive roles at Safeway, Gillette, and Ralston Purina. Most recently, James served as president, chairman, and chief executive officer of Jamba Incorporated, commonly known as Jamba Juice. Have you all had some Jamba Juice in your lives? Yes. And he did that for 8 years. He led a major turnaround and transformation in the company, expanding its brand offerings and market share. San Francisco Business Times called him the Bay Area's most admired CEO. James remains a member of several corporate boards of directors, as well as many nonprofit boards and philanthropic endeavors. He's very grateful for the organizations and institutions that shaped his vision of success, and he continues to make a concerted effort to help young people in underserved communities overcome the barriers he has faced and overcome himself. Here at Mizzou, James is a member of the Trustees College of Business Strategic Development Board and has served as a distinguished alumni lecturer. In 2015, he established, and I just lost that page. But I know that he established something then. Yes, good. Okay, why did I lose that page? Good, Tracy. Tracy's always helpful. The James D. White Scholars and Mentorship Program to invest in the next generation of students at Mizzou and ensure that they are able to realize their dreams. James lives in Pleasanton, California, and we are honored that he is joining us this morning. Please join me in welcoming James White. James.
Russ, thank you. absolutely humbled and honored to be a part of this very distinguished group being recognized today. I want to thank the Board of Trustees. The University of Missouri plays a very, very special part of my personal journey. I flew in from California, so it was kind of planes, trains, and automobiles to get here for today, but Russ told me I had to be here, so there's no way I wouldn't be here to share this really important moment. This moment for me started 38 years ago, and this is as much about my family and parents as it is about anything that I've done. 38 years ago, and it's interesting, the same three people that came on this journey with me 38 years ago, my mom and dad and sister, and my sister will likely start crying in a few seconds here, but we, kind of thought about what 38 years ago looked like, and we could have never imagined being before you here today to really talk about the importance that this university played in kind of the start of my personal journey. And I typically don't do this, so, but I just couldn't be more pleased to be here. The university has played a really important part in really my start. So if I go back to my very humble beginnings, I was the first member of my family to graduate from college. And for me, that was a really, really important kind of milestone that really set up an unbelievable career journey. And really the only thing I ever wanted to do professionally is do work that made my parents proud. And again, I'll make that point again. The only thing I wanted to do was work that would make my parents proud. And for me, that meant it was as important how I did my work as what I accomplished. And really the most important thing was, how I treated people along the journey. And because of the very humble beginnings, for me, from a leadership perspective, I was always able to look at what people could do. I'd look at their assets, and I leverage those assets into every one of the business opportunities that I had really throughout my entire career. And one of the central kind of tenets of the way we were raised is always to make sure we give back and leave the world a little bit better than the way we found it. And this is really an important moment. I had no idea that I would be as emotional as I am this morning, but I think that really underscores the importance of this award and recognition. And this is really about, the wonderful gift my family gave me. And we talk a little bit about giving back and making a difference in the world, being a part of our family business. My sister is the CEO of Girls Inc. in St. Louis, one of their top affiliates in the country. So this is kind of foundational to what we do. And I'm just really pleased as I look at the young people. There are 3 young people in the back who were some of the first recipients of the scholarship that I funded a few years ago. Can you guys stand up just so everybody can see? These are the brightest. Well, there's actually four young people. And you should take a moment to meet each of them, before we conclude this event. But these guys represent the future, and it leaves me even more hopeful that we're in great hands. The university is in great hands, and the legacy here at the university will continue. I'm gonna stop because my mom always taught me as a speaker to be brief, bright, and gone. So I'm gonna conclude and say thanks. I'm humbled and honored. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do some quick housekeeping before we go. First, Russ, if that ever happens to you again, this is what you learn in journalism school. I've just been handed breaking news. James D. White Scholars and Mentorship Program to invest in the next generations of students, and that way it looks like it's totally how it's supposed to go. Secondly, we're going to make this quick because the Chancellor Society luncheon's going on, and Karen informs me we're going to get yelled at because we went long. I don't care. It's the first year we should. I'm happy to report Jim Lehrer in the air and he's going to make it, which is too bad because you guys would have killed tonight. And now, before we let you go, I think there's this one question, right? So, Anderson, this is great, but, you know, can we see our names on the wall? Yes. So as we conclude, I thank everyone for coming and being a part of this first annual and inaugural honoring of the Jefferson Club Golden Quill Alumni Excellence Award honorees. I invite us all, we're going to go to the vestibule in the south and have an unveiling so we can see your names on the Notable Alumni Wall, where they'll be forever. So thanks, everybody, and let's adjourn over there. So without further ado, there's manpower behind here. It's not some magic trick. We present to you the updated University of Missouri Notable Alumni Wall and our new names from this morning. Thanks to everybody for coming this morning, and hopefully we'll see most of you at the dinner tonight. And again, congratulations.